And I'm Mark, and I'm just one of many people doing aquaponics projects these days. And so I want to show you my aquaponics system as I'm redesigning it. And I'm going to show you some piece parts, and then hopefully at the end I'll get to where I can show you the whole system as it is. Right now what I want to focus on is the um, the siphon that's going to stop. This is the grow bed area here, and you can hear that siphon breaking there, and see now there's no water or very little water coming out, and eventually that'll stop. And yes, I have ice. It is January, and I'm trying to get this thing started. Sometimes it helps to plan early. I totally redesigned my system from last year, so if you watch one of the older videos you can check out a smaller version of this. But in this one you can tell there's just a 5-gallon, or not a 5-gallon, one of the small swimming pools from Walmart. I have a rock guard is what this is, and basically I was doing it with the small saw. You can see there's some small little cuts in it, and then there's some bigger ones, and then so I used my table saw, and I think I got a lot more. So I wanted to, the point is, what this does, it slides over the bell siphon, and of course we'll talk about what the bell siphon does, but it slides over the bell siphon. It allows enough water to go in so that the bell siphon itself, which is this part, and the part on the inside, so that they can work properly. This is the outer cover for the bell siphon, and basically I just have some holes here, and then I have a little small tube that comes out to help break the siphon a little better. Now, one note on that, I spent a lot of time this year with the wrong size drill bit. If you're going to put this hose in, it needs to be really snug in that hole, so you need to use the right kind of drill bit or the right size, and then it helps if you cut the corner so that you can slide it in smoothly. I don't know if you can tell, but if you can, let me see if I can turn this around. Nope, it doesn't look like I can show you, but if you could see in there, essentially what you would see is that that tube is not cut flush. So see how it's cut kind of straight there? Well, it's not straight on there. It's like, kind of like a triangle, so I can get it in the hole a little easier. But it needs to fit snug, otherwise you're going to have air escaping in here, and you won't get a good siphon. And also it won't break, or it might break too soon. Now what is a siphon? What are we talking about? Well, essentially this water is filling up to this reducer here, and from here it goes down through a bulkhead fitting through the bottom where it escapes down there. The whole point of the siphon is to drain this once it gets too full. Well, I want water to sit on the plants, and then once the rocks or the grow material, whatever it is inside here, then what can happen is as the water escapes, as it gets sucked out, it draws in air right to the roots, and the water going to the roots of the plant and the air going to the roots of the plant make the grow medium just for structure, just to hold the plant up, okay? So now, normally, if I didn't have the outer cover of the bell siphon, what would happen is the water would rise up to the top of the siphon here, and it would start draining down there, and then it would continuously drain at the same rate that it entered. So essentially, the water would always be on the roots of the plant, and I'd never be sucking in air. So the point is that with the bell siphon, and with it set up there, what I can do is I can drain this faster, quicker than the water coming in happens. So unfortunately, the cycle does take a little bit of time. You can see I have taken and I've kind of scribed some little lines here. I don't know if you can see, but I've scribed some lines in the pipe so I can tell when the siphon's going to go. So when I set this over here, I can kind of look, and down there is where the siphon breaks. I got a little more in there, and then right here is where the siphon, about where the siphon should start. So we're filling up. We're about halfway there, maybe halfway right now. And it does take a little bit of time. Now inside this one this is kind of a bigger one than I used last year. Usually I use a 3/4 inch one, but this is a 1-inch bulkhead fitting. That's a 1-inch pipe, and then this is like a 1 3/4 going down to a 1-inch. You need to have a way to reduce to take a lot in and then reduce it as it goes down in order to get the siphon to work properly. while it's filling, I'm going to talk about the bottom side of the bell siphon. And the bell siphon, I used it last year, a smaller version of it, and it was very reliable, and I had no issues with, well, once it wasn't breaking the siphon, but that was because something had clogged that little hose. Oh, what that hose does, that little hose that comes off the side of it, the point of that is to really help break the siphon. Now, here from the bottom side, see if I can get the camera right here. From the bottom side, you should be able to see that basically what I have is I have an elbow coming out of the tailpipe here, or the bulkhead fitting that I was talking about. This is the other side of it. And then I have a little extra hose here. And the point of the extra hose is just to help it drain a little quicker. You'll see that, I don't know if you can see it, but assuming that you can, I'll try to get the right angle here. Inside there's a smaller piece of PVC that I actually shaved down with a file so I could fit it in there. What that does, it helps create a little more restriction. By restricting the flow here and also encouraging more in there, by by reducing the flow, hopefully I'm having my siphon work more quickly, or work better. I don't know. You can see I put some material in here. I'll explain that in another video, what I'm doing with that. From here, this is the catch basin under here. I'll do a separate video on it, but essentially the idea is the plants will be planted in this grow bed, and so I'll have rocks in here, and that's what I'll be doing here soon. That's why I want to get this particular video done. I'll have rocks in here, and the water will fill up with the rocks in it, and the plants will be in it, and then the water will drain. Now the plants filter the ammonia out of the water. Well, where's the ammonia come from? Well, if you know anything about aquaponics, the fish are going to poop, and they're going to create ammonia. When I show you the whole system, you'll be able to see the fish tank and everything else, and hopefully there won't be ice in here. And I got a lot to do, but I wanted to get this video because once I set this in place and I have all the rocks and the plants in it, I really don't want to be messing with it anymore. Like I said, the whole purpose of this is just a guard to keep the rocks out of the siphon, because if they block the siphon, then it won't be reliable. So we're getting close to that fill line, so we're doing pretty good there. And while we're looking at that, I guess I can show the remnants of last year's project, which is up here. And you can see it has a bell siphon from last year. That worked just fine. And a rock guard. You can see the rock, the pebbles. I'm actually going to reuse these, although I probably might want to be careful because I did grow a lot of cilantro, and some of it went to seed, so I suspect there's some cilantro seeds in there. And so maybe when I start doing my videos later, we'll get to see some cilantro grown that I didn't plant, just because I'm reusing the seeds. So we're getting close to the water level for the siphon to start. Now you'll notice when we're looking down here, there's really no water coming out of the valve at all, but there will be soon. I love the sound of the running water. It's pretty cool. So again, this is the grow bed part. You can see, oh, what's that? A trickle. So that we're starting to get some water out of there. And here in a few minutes, we're going to get a lot of water out of there. As the water, it looks like as the pressure builds up here, that's where it really starts to create that suction. And because I'm putting more water in than what is coming out right now, it's gonna seal that that little bit of air that's preventing the suction pretty quickly here. So hopefully I won't get too wet trying to film it. Once it starts going pretty good. And you can see it increasing a little bit. Hey, my old Bella. All right, so there's the siphon. The siphon should come out really good, nice and strong. That's how you know it's working. And then you can look up here. Our level got right up to that line about at the time the siphon got going fully. So now we're going to watch it, and you'll see some of it. You'll see it's draining out. And as it drains out, like I said, we're still putting water in at the very same speed, but now the water level is going down. Well, that's because we're pumping out more than what we're putting in. And that's because that suction, if I were to take this off, inside the housing of the bell siphon is a suction that's sucking all this water into it from the bottom. And I think that's about where we were when we started the video. We probably had sucked out a little more of this than what we're at now, but I don't think there's anything else of value to go over in the grow bed. That's the basic way it works, and that's the basic concept. And once again, I'm Mark, and I'm just practicing this aquaponics thing. Have a great day.